Hello everyone. Sathrovarr the Corruptor is what we call a Dreadlord. Cloven-hoofed demons with gaunt faces, sharp claws and sharper minds. In their tongue, they are known as the Nafrazim, but they sometimes refer to themselves as the Tal Kitun, meaning unseen guests in their language. The Dreadlords see manipulation and deception as their true talents, preferring to remain hidden in the shadows, waiting for an opportune moment to strike. Although they are fearsome opponents on the battlefield, the Dreadlords, they do prefer to have the unwitting victims to do their dirty work for them, turning nations against each other through manipulation and guile. As Talanir Dawnrise, a Sin'dorei scholar once said, "That's the problem with the Nafrazim. At least an Infernal has the courtesy of announcing its presence. Once to take hold of their victims, they can consume their essence, and are even capable of possessing people, as the Dreadlord Belnazar, he did to the paladins Said and Davrohan, which in turn led to the formation of the Scarlet Crusade and a whole bunch of trouble. The Nafrazim originally came from their home planet of Nafraza, a planet in the twisting nether, a place where the very fabric of the world, it was saturated in potent energies and extremely raw magic. We know of one unnamed city in Nafraza, where a tall tower stood, illuminated by the sickly green shade of fell lanterns. The tower, it housed great discs containing the knowledge of the Nafrazim, the races they had come across, all their conquests, and information on every plot that the manipulative race had ever orchestrated. It was Illidan Stormrage who used the souls of his enemies and his own soldiers to open a portal to this Nafraza. He and his demon hunters, they tore through the unsuspecting Nafrazim and retrieved the Seal of Argus, a disc which taught Illidan the location of the Eradar's homeworld. After leaving back through the portal from which they arrived, Illidan collapsed the portal and Nafraza shattered. All those Nafrazim on the surface, they were vanquished forever, having been killed within the twisting nether. Now it could be that a small rocky section of Nafraza, the dead still stands. As in Legion, Portal Keeper Hazabel, she's the Doom Maiden responsible for transporting demons from their respective worlds to the front lines of the Burning Legion, and we're fighting her in the Burning Throne. She opens up several portals to different worlds. One of them is Nafraza. Another portal that she opens up is to the world of Zorov, home of the Dreadsteeds and Wrathsteeds. That's right, Warlocks, that's where your mounts come from. But they're also the mounts of the Nafrazim. One of these mounts is a Ruffian Wrathsteed. That is the mount of Arakzaf, who Warlock players they defeat in order to take this mount for themselves during their Order Hall campaign. With their extraordinary powers, these demons, they made up for some of the most powerful forces that the Burning Legion had to offer. Under the command of the Dark Titan Sargeras, they set out on a mission of destroying and conquering worlds, making sure that those Void Lords would be unable to corrupt a slumbering Titan spirit. Naturally, this meant that they set their eyes on our world of Azeroth, which does indeed house one of these spirits. But the Legion's invasions, they were halted by heroes of the world. You might recall how our command was defeated during Warcraft 3, but it wasn't the first, nor would it be the last time that they tried to take our world. Around the Burning Crusade period, we see Kil'jaeden trying to seek a way onto Azeroth, and he had tasked the newly resurrected Kael'thas Sunstrider with creating a portal through which they could enter. Kael'thas, who'd been swayed to the will of Kil'jaeden, he was going to need a huge source of power, and what better than the last essence of their Sunwell. When their Sunwell got corrupted during Warcraft 3, they were forced to destroy it, but there were still remnants left, fragments of its power. To avoid these essences falling into the wrong hands, the Red Dragon Coriostras, he collected the essences and hid them away, transforming them into a human girl named Anvina. It was when the Blue Dragonflight sent Kalecgos to investigate what was going on that he met Anvina and they struck up a bond. Kil'jaeden had now learned of Anvina and he knew the remaining powers of the Sunwell, that they would be more than powerful enough to power the portal through which they could enter, so he sent Kael'thas to apprehend the girl and use her power for the portal. When Anvina was kidnapped and taken to the Sunwell Plateau, Kalecgos, he of course followed her. He was madly in love with her, and he was determined to rescue her. Now for more details on the adventures of Anvina and Kalecgos, I have a video up on the channel. But for now, our focus is on Kalecgos and how he came in contact with the Dreadlords Sathrovarr the Corruptor. Anyone that's been through the Sunwell Plateau raid, trying to reach Anvina and the Sunwell, you'll remember seeing Kalecgos.
No longer will I be a slave to Malygos. Challenge me and you will be destroyed.
To our dismay and surprise, he is actually aggressive towards us and we are forced into combat. It becomes clear during the battle that something's not quite right.
Help me before I lose my mind! I will purge you.
The lights are on, but Kalecgos isn't exactly home, as we soon find out that Kalecgos has been corrupted, and we enter into a shadowy, dark dimension where we can see Kalecg, the half-elf form of Kalecgos, fighting against the Dreadlord at least 3 times his size. Sathrovarr has corrupted Kalecgos, but as it would turn out, dragons prove formidable targets for possession, and Kalecg, he is fighting against Sathrovarr, desperately trying to regain control over his body.
I need your help. Cannot resist him much longer.
He calls out to us to help before he loses the struggle, and the power of Sathrovarr's hold over Kalecgos is obvious.
I will watch you bleed.
Kalecg cannot resist him much longer. He's slowly losing control over his own mind and body. Sathrovarr proves a tough opponent in physical combat as well, and we need to kill him before he can kill Kalecg, who's slowly slipping away. If we fail in this struggle, Sathrovarr, he will kill Kalecg, and the dragon known as Kalecgos is now lost to us, calling out his victory in the name of Kil'jaeden. However, we are heroes, of course. Sathrovarr, though formidable, he can be beaten, and killing this huge Dreadlord, it will free Kalecgos of his corruption. Once freed, Kalecgos has control back, and he thanks us for his help, as he heads further into the complex, determined to save Anvina and stop Kil'jaeden.
I'm never on the losing side. I am forever in your debt. Once we have triumphed over Kil'jaeden, this entire world will be in your debt as well.
Was it not for Kalecgos, we would be unable to continue in the raid. But what of Sathrovarr? Well, we know the demons, they cannot truly die unless they're killed inside the Twisted Nether. And a few expansions later, Sathrovarr would turn up again. We see this at the Battle for the Broken Shore during Legion. Sathrovarr, he's one of the many demons that Gul'dan summons against the Alliance and the Hordes. Both sides were forced to call the retreat, and we haven't seen him since our defeat at the Broken Shore. Who knows where the Dreadlord is right now, but he has made his Hearthstone debut, featuring as part of the upcoming Descent of Dragons expansion. All those who logged in from November 5th, you got this card for free. And all those who attended BlizzCon or had a virtual ticket, you would also receive this golden version. And in the game, Sathrovarr, having dropped his Corruptor title, he does what he does best, summoning a copy of a friendly minion into your hand, into your deck, and into the battlefield. Just wait until you also find a copy in your pocket, and your desk, and your fridge. Copies everywhere. But with that, we've come to the end of Sathrovarr's story. Not a whole lot to say about the Dreadlord quite yet, but who knows what he might do in the future. Like I said, after the events of the Broken Shore, a couple of demons, they went missing in action. They might still be roaming Azeroth, they might have returned somewhere else, who knows. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. As always, feel free to leave your request for cards to cover in the future in the comments down below. You could also subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time, see ya!